Hi, I'm Orion. First of all, this video has zero script. And second of all, yes, I'm in front of the closet again. The jokes write themselves, don't they? But I thought today I would make a video about how I got back into reading, or rather got into reading as an adult. So, throughout school, I didn't necessarily love reading. It felt like throughout primary school, it was basically forced. Which, for primary school, yeah, I think it should be. Duh. How else do you learn how to read? By reading, obviously. But I feel like the ways in which reading was kind of pushed on people, at least here in the UK, I don't know, I just didn't love it. There are many weeks where I got punished for not reading, so I missed out on many times where I could have just been doing fun stuff. Instead, I was being punished for that, which could mean nothing. And throughout my time at secondary school, I basically exclusively read one kind of book, and that was the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I have zero shame, by the way. Those books made me into who I am today, for better or worse, and I will not take any criticism at this time. So, in secondary school we were made to read for like the first 5-10 minutes of each lesson, and yeah, I was only reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. And you wonder why I didn't love reading, because we were forced. I often got complaints from teachers that, oh, there's too many pictures, get a different book, get a real book. And I don't think people realise how interesting graphic novels can be. And whilst I wouldn't really exclusively say Diary of a Wimpy Kid is a graphic novel, there's certainly elements of them. There's definitely art in bits. And I mean, the font for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books are actually it's actually really like nice to read. But I didn't love reading still. You know, I feel like because of that, I missed out on a lot of sort of the formative 2010s teenager books. So I missed out on the Hunger Games, missed out on the Divergent series, obviously missed out on Twilight, but I made it work. Wink. I basically exclusively read things that were on my iPad, pretty much. And it meant that I didn't really read growing up. Fast forward to a few years ago, I wanted to read books, weirdly. I don't know which book it was. Oh. So, I was doing a cybersecurity degree, which never really panned out, and I got a few books about cybersecurity. Naturally, it was Always On by Rory Cellan-Jones, Tools and Weapons by Brad Smith, and Ghost in the Wires by Kevin Mitnick. I got them, I think, around 2020, and I never really read them. And fast forward to like 2021, I was commuting to university. I decided to change courses to esports, which I definitely have some takes about the degree now, because I feel like I can. From the day this is being filmed, which is the 4th of November, my graduation is in about a week. When this video comes out, it'll be well after. Yes, I have graduation in November. That's just what my university does. But I needed something to bide the time whilst I was commuting to and from uni in my first year of esports. And I thought, you know what, why don't I pick up the book? And I think it was very much Ghost in the Wires, which was the first book I'd say I've read since secondary school. I I didn't love it. I found it a bit much, especially for me. But it was kind of an interesting memoir by Kevin Mitnick on basically how he landed in jail and people basically protested that, and a lot of nerdy hackery stuff. It was kind of interesting, but it was so long-winded that, yeah. I mean, it also is a very thick book. And then from there, I think I read those books, and I still didn't really love reading, but I still read 1 or 2 books a month. And then it turned to 2023. I think I'd read a few books previously, but I started to read stuff more, and I got my first e-reader, my Kobo, because I decided, you know what, I wanted to read more, and I read about a book or 2 a month, maybe, and things were going fine. And then I heard about Heartstopper. Yes, I heard about Heartstopper before the 2nd season was coming out. I started to get the Heartstopper books that summer of 2023, and I started to really, really love them. I wanted to read more queer books, and admittedly, Heartstopper felt like the door was open now to me. Obviously, they're graphic novels. They are very quick to get through, and that sort of started my want to read more. And I think from then, I started to get more and more into reading. I got up to volume 4, and then from there, that was when I first read every Alice Oseman book, which everyone knows by now. I love Alice Oseman for her work itself, but I also thank Alice Oseman for getting me into reading from the get-go. Or, you know, I didn't think I'd actually properly get into books, so I'm ever so thankful. From then, 2023, I ended up reading... I realised I ended up reading like 40 books that year, which was super sick. Now obviously some of this, what I'm saying, is slightly adjusted, because I wasn't perfect with reading. And it got to this year. So for those of you who weren't around for one last year, I had this mini project called The List. I'd made a list of books and films and TV shows that I wanted to read before the year was up, and it didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to, but it was really a challenge, and there were some books that really pushed me into reading more, which was super sick. And there were also some that made me want to read less. I will say that. And then I read All for the Game, the All for the Game series. That was when I knew I needed to read more, because I got through them in about a month. Well, I say a month, I mean like 2 months, because I spent like a month just on the Sunshine Court. But from there, I think, afterwards, I was like, you know what, I'm going to read more and more and more. And now that I have more time to, given that I can't really get a job and I'm out of uni, that was where things really took a turn for the best. I wanted to read more and more, and talk about books more and more. I feel like now that I'm starting to get a bit of a following and a bit of a community, that I can just maybe do this, because I don't see myself passing my driving test and being able to get a job for a while, so maybe this could be something. I don't know. That's just a big yap from me. This was massively unscripted. If you liked this ramble, thank you so much for watching. Maybe slap like. If you hated it, dislike it, it's fine. Don't worry, I won't cry myself to sleep over it. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I make a new video. But that is very much it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Orion, signing out.